Welcome everybody to episode 226 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We are your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson. Russell, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you today? Hello, everyone at home. Hope you're very well.
Yes. Hello to the masses, those on the internet, listening in their cars, on a variety of platforms, watching the video, commiserations.
Sometimes on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Get to see our beautiful faces. Or be traumatized by our beautiful faces. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, really. Listening on Central Coast Radio.
Yeah, definitely.
Spotify, Google Podcasts. Does the Google Podcast still exist, or is it YouTube Podcast now?
Yeah, it's YouTube now.
So you can watch all this on YouTube.
They've got it all worked out.
The options are just everywhere. Anyway.
Speaking of Central Coast Radio, we had an absolute banger of a show last week. People tuned in from Canada, Switzerland, India, Germany, Brazil, France, Japan, Hong Kong, Ireland, Singapore, Chile, UK, Belgium, Israel, Indonesia.
Nice.
Korea, South Africa.
Nice.
That's,
from the central coast of all of those countries.
From the centralcoastradio.com of all those countries.
That's right.
Yeah.
Choice.
Anyway, enough about people around the... Well, actually,
Oh,
it's always good to talk about people around the world, but let's talk sports cards. What do you say, Ad?
let's do it. What's top of the docket today?
I think there's a lot, again, going on this week. We actually had to sort of move things up and down the list this week, as usual, but I think the top one is the CEO of SGC has stepped down.
Yes.
And I think you can speculate and read into this on so many different ways, honestly. Yep. So I think that why don't we just go straight to the speculation? I don't think we need to read his statement or anything like that, because that's just kind of...
Peter Steinberg's... it's like a manifesto, really. Just go.
It's a very, very, very mini manifesto.
Yeah, but it's just
an Instagram manifesto.
If it goes for 3 pages, it's an IG manifesto. How's that?
All right. So this is my speculation here.
Mm-hmm.
As he said, effective immediately, I made the difficult decision to resign from my position at SGC. My understanding of the effective immediately resignation letters is that you were pushed. You didn't choose to go on to your next project. I don't
think there's another project. I think it's we don't want you. You cannot be here anymore.
Yeah, I think for me, like, this is not like a controversial thing either. It's just with the PSA buyout of SGC, they're going to be streamlining.
Your services are no longer required.
Yeah, you don't need 2 CEOs, right?
Yeah. We don't need you to innovate. We've got
that sorted out. So, I think when companies do get bought out like that, there's always some casualties when those type of things happen. And I think SGC Pete was one of the top ones to go. I would also imagine he was also the highest paid person at the company. So then there's that there too.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too is about, young CEOs that are out there, doing fantastic things. Because I think if we're being honest about SGC, they had a better run the last few years than BGS did.
Yeah,
and I think they moved up the marketplace when other, companies were going backwards again, referring to BGS. So I think, he will go on to bigger and better things. I don't think there's any, he's not walking away with controversy. He's not walking away with egg on his face or, being accused of anything bad. I think this is, for me, simply just a money-making or money-saving venture by PSA. So
it's part of the moving forward, what the company structure looks like with the with the move. Yeah, for sure.
I suppose, as a collective, how does this affect us? I think that's probably the next question to dwell on or to debate, I suppose, because is this good for people in the hobby? Because now literally you have just one overlord over these 2 massive companies.
I think I'm of the view that competition was good.
Yeah.
In the hobby, I think competition in business is makes things healthy. It ensures innovation and change.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about PSA being the overlords of the hobby. I don't know. I've voiced it before that there needs to be some level of regulation, and I'm sorry, but who's watching PSA do what they do? Do we just trust them? And the answer is currently yes, we do. But as I suppose we segue to when we recap in the next topic, look what that level of trust can get you.
So I'm just really quickly gone over to our friend Ryan at GemRate. Ryan, I hope you're well, mate, and life is treating you well. And I think looking at the daily numbers is like a little bit of a, it's very up and down depending on how they submit the numbers each day. So I'm just looking at the last weekly submission, which was July 21st. PSA 400,000 items were graded. CGC 113,000. SGC 26,000 and Beckett 14,000. So it's still talking huge numbers here.
Yeah.
But then if you make that 432,000 for PSA and SGC combined.
Yeah.
CGC with 113,000 and then Beckett in third place at 14,000. I think that's the other way to look at it then too. It's just like making the top one even, bigger and bigger again. So
yeah, it's I don't know. I think there's such a front running trend.
All right, final thoughts on this bad boy.
Sit back and watch. We don't really have much of a choice in the matter. Let's see what the future brings.
PSA is king. Mr. Man Cave update. So last week we talked about the $500 million worth of fakes scandal. His then suicide note, an unfortunate finding by the FBI of his body with a self-inflicted wound. And so there's really not a lot, to update this. I think we were looking before the show at some news articles, which basically gave a few more details around how the scam came unwound. And it sounds like somebody made a report to their local police department, who then escalated to the FBI when they found a few more people also complaining about fakes that they'd purchased from Mr. Man Cave. And so that's, it's not really new information. I feel like that's just, something, we might not have known last week, but now we do, but it's not really anything sort of... what it did say, though, is that they seized a whole bunch of stuff. And so Steve Grad was talking about that last week. He's like, I want access to that stuff so we can look at it and so we can actually break it down and analyze it.
Yeah.
Steve has also been doing the rounds a lot this week. Like, I noticed him on my socials this week a lot more than I usually would. But interesting, I was saying this to you off air too. It's like, I feel like this CGC story has really taken the Mr. Man Cave out of my Instagram feed. So I'm not getting the same amount of posts from it this week. Like, it's amazing how quickly, the stories can change. We just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And Steve again touched on that. He's like, even if we're not talking about this issue is not going away. So, and he sort of touched on previous scams that would happen in the hobby.
Yeah.
All that scammy stuff is still out there too. So it's like, I think that's something that I'm really interested to see how this folds out and see how this changes the hobby or even how we perceive it. Because
I'll throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, hit me.
How I know collectors are much more better informed, I guess, these days.
Well, some is yes, some is no, yeah.
But and this is where I don't think there will be a change at the market level. Right? On the hardcore collector side, there's more awareness. But when you're talking about buying fake autographs, jerseys, photos, whatever, what about the mum and dads that are going to buy presents? What about the partners that don't have any interest in collectibles whatsoever, that are going to stores blindly thinking they've purchased a legitimate bit of memorabilia for their partner, their loved one, their children. And they're going in completely naive, not doing any research, and think they've scored themselves a bargain. They're the ones that get ripped, because then a collector receives this item, and the first thing, you're not going to tell your parents or your partner that thanks for buying me a fake, but it's going to go through your mind. You have to wait for it. I think that's where the impact lies.
Yeah.
And it's
and you think that risk will still be there? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is now the risk is still there.
Yeah.
The partners of collectors aren't listening to podcasts like this. They're not on socials doing research like this, right?
Yeah.
They're supportive of the hobby, saying, oh, well, my son, my husband, my wife collects, but I don't do research on it. I'm just supporting their hobby and getting them a Christmas present. Yep.
You trust the person who's selling it to you 100%. Yep.
I know Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant is worth a lot of money, so you know what? It's a milestone birthday. I'm going to spend $1,000 on this bit of memorabilia, and we find out it's fake. And look, I feel bad for the ones that get sucked into these scams, and I also feel really bad for the partners, children, receivers of these gifts that have very calmly go, thank you, that is so thoughtful, and in the back of their mind going, thanks for the fake, this is bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's stained our hobby. It's staining collecting and memorabilia, so just got to be really, really cautious moving forward.
Yep. Alrighty, moving on to our next piece of hobby-related chatter is the Caitlin Clark Flawless Platinum Rookie Logo Woman patch auto 1 of 1 with her autograph and the inscription on it, 769 points and counting. Beautiful card. I like the logo design of what they've done to it. I think the flawless design is, as always, simple but effective. I'm glad it's got that 1 of 1 logo on it too. That's my personal preference with 1 of 1 logo. It's sold for 660,000 USD, 26 bids on that.
Yikes.
I want to add this into this too, though. It's interesting to me that Fanatics Collectibles is promoting a Panini product. Have you ever seen Panini promoting anything other than their own content on their thing?
That's
I think the way that
you're right, yeah.
I know I'm segueing here like straight away, but we can go back to Caitlin Clark in a second. But it's really interesting to me the way that Fanatics approach the hobby. They definitely do have a different view through the kaleidoscope than what Panini does.
But did it sell on their platform though? Do you know what I mean? Like, where did it sell for? Panini. Sorry, I'm just reading the. No. Surely it'd be on a Fanatics platform if they're boasting about it. It's like Backyard Breaks breaking a card.
Yeah, you're right. The Fanatics Collect auction.
Yeah. So they're just raving about it because they're the ones that held the auction for that sold the highest selling grossing card for Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they're drawing attention to the player and the price tag, not to the fact that Panini made the card.
You're probably right, but I've just noticed a few things that Fanatics have put up. Like they're not different. Yeah, they just do it a little bit differently. I think also too they're just promoting the hobby in general.
That's true. That's very true.
I think it's just a different and I think obviously it's very early days when we're talking about Fanatics taking over. And look, there's been some bad stuff that's come out, but like I'm just scrolling through the Panini Instagram now. Like I could just never imagine them promoting like anything other than their own little agenda.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, you're probably right. But yeah, I don't know. Panini haven't really ever had their own, aside from like Panini Instant and stuff like that. They don't have like the auction house style sell other people's product.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, let's go back to Caitlin Clark, because actually this is what I did want to talk to you about.
Yes, Caitlin Clark.
At 660,000, is this a buy, hold, or sell? I think this is the appropriate time to play this buy, hold, sell game.
I'm selling.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's literally a house. It's $1 million Aussie.
Like it's selling. Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in WNBA cards at the moment until I see other players start to escalate. And every time it's Caitlin Clark, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Why does it give you heebie-jeebies?
I want to see someone else sell for big money.
Yeah.
I want to see... Do you know what I mean?
I don't feel that way. I think that it's totally fine if you just have one person who is the exception to the rule. And I think that's what we've got in the WNBA. Maybe there's going to be somebody else that, does come along that's big, but
yeah,
that to me is not a big deal.
Can you imagine if the NBA was just LeBron James? There was no Steph Curry, there's no Jason Tatum, there's no Luka Doncic, there's no SGA, no Nikola Jokic, there's no stars. It's just LeBron. Do you know like how polarizing that is? It's just, I don't know. I feel like the WNBA's, they've taken a step, they need to take another step.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that she is very polarizing. I think there is a lot of the pros out there that maybe have given her like a really hard time because of that.
Yeah.
Like including, which we've spoken about on the previous episode, of them excluding her from the national team.
Yeah. True.
I think that is a real thing. But at the same time, my analogy for this card is the Zion Williamson one that sold. So that sold for 750,000.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like, you have this guy who has all the talent in the world and all the hobby hype in the world. And he's like, the young hot prospect at the time. So that's like, you just ticked all the Caitlin Clark boxes and then becomes like this huge injury risk.
True.
I think the only difference between like Zion and Caitlin Clark in this particular thing is like, Caitlin Clark's not knocking up all these like really hot Instagram models. It's like in this hypothetical.
But if she goes off the rails,
maybe she could.
But no, if she goes off the rails, can you imagine? Like that just blows up the hobby for WNBA.
Yeah,
she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders only.
I mean, from a hobby perspective, I doubt she cares. I feel like that's the type of pressure that they don't care. I think it would be just more entertaining that people would spend that much money on her card. I think that would be the... Yeah.
Hang on. Is it...
Anyway, really quickly...
I was going to say, you've also put up the top WNBA
Yeah, so
card
prices. Run
prices.
through that quickly. Yeah, go through that.
All right, so Caitlin Clark is obviously number one at 660K.
Yeah.
How do I pronounce Paige's surname?
Well, I would say it's Buchers, but yeah.
Buchers?
Yeah.
At 16.5K.
So she's not in the league yet. So she's like the next,
new Caitlin Clark.
She's the next one to come along. Yeah.
Then we've got Cameron Brink, 16.3K. Sabrina Ionescu, is it?
So I would like say she's kind of like a Steph Curry maybe, and she's already won a championship too.
Yep. And then we've got who's that? Angel Wilson.
Again, won an MVP, won a championship.
Yep. And that, so what's that? 2, 3, 4. Oh wait,
so they're all still in the league.
Yep.
Taurasi is like one of the goats, one of the original OGs.
So there are 5 other players that have sold for more than 10K. Then we've got like Angel Reese, Sue Bird,
Reese's, which
Cynthia
everyone
Cooper,
loads on. That's who that is.
Candace Parker. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like there's got to be that. There's got to be growth in that section.
Yeah.
Buchers, maybe there's a chance there. Like,
do
you know what I mean? There's got to be some.
Don't mortgage your house for a Page card. That would be
no. But she's got to do something.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, there's got to be some hype around these other players.
Look, maybe
if it's just Caitlin Clark, we're cooked.
Look, I'm really heavily speculating right now, but I would actually say if people do take that Caitlin Clark enthusiasm into Paige,
Yeah.
Maybe that's where people could get really badly burnt.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, she doesn't wash out. She doesn't do well. People
Okay.
spent,
Yeah.
like 10x overs at the start. Yeah.
But then you've got players like Brink that is like they're still in the league.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You've got other players, so maybe some investment. There needs to be some hype. The league needs to grow anyway.
Okay. Thank you to Fast Break Trading Cards for all of your love and support for our podcast. We appreciate you a lot. Go to fastbreaktradingcards.com. There you will find sports trading cards, tops, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, Formula 1, tennis, UFC, WWE, grading, PSA grading, BGS grading, pre-order trading cards, gift cards for all those gift needs, birthdays, Christmas, Easter, why not? Fanatics Authentic Memorabilia, as we discussed last week at length, the lads have a direct partnership with Fanatics, so anything that you buy there is all 100% authentic. Entertainment, TCG, Disney, Lorcana, Pokemon, One Piece, Star Wars. Drop into their shop, 75 Tulip Street in Cheltenham. Friday 12 till 6, Saturday 9 till 5, Sunday 10 till 4. You'll find the friendly customer service by John and Alvaro, and also all of their $5 boxes, $10 boxes, and all of the amazing cards that they have on display in their windows. Thank you to Fast Break Trading Cards for all of your support. And we are back. Summer League MVP chatter.
The Summer League's over, is it?
Part of it is. There'll be other leagues that come up, but
I'm sure there will be.
Is...
I'm sure. This is how much attention I don't pay to the Summer League.
I've watched some highlights. I watched a couple of game recaps, and that's it. And I've actually enjoyed having a break from it because I watched a lot of playoffs and I really enjoyed the finals. I think that's also my issue I have too, is like going straight from the finals where the quality is
into the Summer League
11 out of 10 into Summer League where it's all
makes sense.
Enthusiasm and effort, but not a lot of skill. It's a tough. So Summer League MVP was Kyle Filipowski, and I think we should probably talk about him because this is not his first year in the league, so we'll be able to find some comps on him. And then the other people that were in the first team was Nick Clifford of the Kings, David Jones Garcia of the Spurs, Jordan Miller of the Clippers, and then Terrence Shannon Jr. for the Wolves. So was there anyone out of that group that you were maybe looking at, maybe going to buy some cards of?
Speculating
on?
Only comment I made is that Nick Clifford looked like Max Christie. But
that wasn't really the question that I asked.
Yeah, no. Looking at them, I actually looked at Filipowski and went, is it just like Walker Kessler Jr.?
He does look Walker Kessler-esque, doesn't he?
They're about, I don't know, they're an inch, like he's an inch shorter than Walker Kessler. Both play center. No wonder the Lakers went after Kessler then. If the Jazz have recruited the same player 2 years in a row kind of thing, or 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, we know teams do that. I was looking at this MVP ballot, trying to find some comps or where there'd be some value.
Yeah.
My thought is, I don't think Terrence Shannon's going to get much opportunity. So I'm looking at teams that are contenders.
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking at the Minnesota roster. I'm like, does he fit? Does he get a shot this year? The Sacramento Kings, probably does get a shot.
The Kings are so cooked though, man.
But that gives a young player a chance to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, but the thing is, they'll play vets. Like they'll do something Kingsy, like play vets, but in front of a good young player. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff they'll do.
Jordan Miller, I mean, he'll probably get some minutes when they're load managing all of their aging, their nursing home roster.
Yeah.
In the Clippers, which is fine. Actually, David Jones Garcia might get a bit with the Spurs have a tendency to sort of plug in and have and put a bit of trust in people, give them a bit of a plug them into the system, but they might hide him for most of the year.
So I agree with you on the point about the Clippers in terms of him getting some minutes because of how old the Clippers are. But I'm looking at the ESPN depth chart. He's not even on their roster.
Correct. That's what I mean. Like there's these players aren't really going to get a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look, this is definitely a deep cut, and I think you're absolutely like we're speculating at this point, but at the same time,
Filipowski might get some run for Utah. That's probably.
I'm looking at Filipowski because I think for me that's the obvious one to go for. I think if someone's emerged now that the Summer League MVP, I think that's a really good thing.
Yep.
My issue with him is actually he's not dollar bin cheap. He's actually more than like $1.
Yeah.
So $7.69 USD for a silver.
Yep.
$3 USD for a select silver.
Okay. So there's no
a patch in select, which is not game worn. It's literally a napkin patch. $7 USD. Now going down to this one, which this is probably my favorite card out of all of these that I'm looking at here. This is the orange, the Deca, which Deca was a really nice release that they did last year.
Yeah.
Numbered to 49. That sold for 31 USD. Like,
okay.
Of all those, that's probably the best, considering that you're paying $10 for a silver. Like, if you bought that and it graded a 10, so that would say cost you 50 or 55 USD to get that done.
Yeah.
And he's a good prospect. Like, I think that's totally fine. But honestly, there's not much here that I'm like just frothing over.
Honestly, I'd be looking into the second team. I mean, you've got two players from the Hornets in Con Knuppel.
Man, I think the Hornets are more messed up than the Kings, though.
But what I'm saying is opportunity to see them in the actual regular season. So if they get run and play for the Hornets, maybe they grow quicker, they develop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, OKC's pretty well settled.
All right, I tell you what. The question. Let's just move away from cards for 2 seconds. Do you think Con Knuppel will mesh well with LaMelo Ball? I think that's a really good question. Because I feel like looking at the draft boards, maybe Knuppel didn't have to go that high.
Yeah. Maybe he's a fit. Maybe he's
I'm
a fit.
Yeah, I'm giving the Hornets credit here, but did they pick him because they're like...
Did they pick him because they wanted that partnership?
And he can fit in well with the rest of the squad. Is that why they would do that?
I mean, they've gone from being an absolute train wreck for ages to now having common sense. I don't think so, but sure.
It does seem a bit out there.
They're going to try something bold and actually look at chemistry now and try and build a team. Who knows? This could be an improvement year from Charlotte. Who knows?
So then you've got LaMelo, Knuppel, Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
You've got Miles Bridges. You've got Josh Green. It's not terrible, is it?
Yeah.
Grant Williams will be coming back hopefully this year. Who's going to play their center position, though? They need Mark Williams back.
That is a really, really, really good point. Maybe they're the ones that are sneaky going to...
Mason Plumlee's your starting center. I mean, that's
maybe
great,
maybe Al Horford's going to Charlotte.
All right, I think we've milked this segment as much as we can.
Yeah, fair.
All righty, this next one is from our friend Boston Card Hunter. I should probably qualify this. I'm not too sure he realizes that we think that we're friends with him. The friendship is one way at this point in time.
It's a one-dimensional friendship at this rate. At least one side thinks they're friends.
That's right.
That's it. We'll find out. We've given him the right of response. If he wants to reach out to us and confirm or deny whether or not he wants to validate this friendship or denounce it, it's up to him.
He did another great video again this week, and he was talking about someone who sent in cards to GameStop to be submitted to PSA.
Yep.
And when the cards came back, they were just completely the wrong cards. And so the way he created the content, it was around what is the process that happens to your cards once they get submitted.
Wow.
And so they're trying to, and look, and again, that's just the way he looks at the hobby. He's very objective. He breaks things down in a very logical sort of way. And so, I think this is not an advertisement, but this is, again, something that we talk about when we partner up with people. So, for example, the guys at Fast Break, they do submissions directly with the Hobby Australia. And so all of that is just, absolutely rock solid processes. They've got everything sorted out on their back end. Look, I would say for a company like GameStop, with the liquidity that they have and the volume that they're doing, they'll just compensate this guy, and then it'll all be done.
Yeah, but I find it. But the actual GameStop support response is the one that does my head in.
I would say, but I would say that this is not the end of the story. I think
for sure.
When something like this happens, it just sort of highlights it. Yeah, so just fill people in about the response from.
So we're not at liberty to send photos. The video keeps flicking, but yes, basically, I'll not limited to send photos of the cards being accepted on a submission. We also don't take photos at pickup. The photo you sent over confirms that a pickup was processed for a submission through our system. Because there are no photos or documentation, that there was a Kobe card, we can't confirm it was a Kobe card. I'm just paraphrasing the last bit because the video flicked over. But it's we are unable to help further. It's one of those. Wouldn't taking a photo of the submission be part of the process?
Well, reading the comments here, people actually say that
it is part of the process. Yeah,
it is a process. They've got a tablet dedicated to it. They take the photos. It's all.
One of the comments there says not every GameStop follows the same procedure. Like, it's not a set procedure. So maybe, I can just say maybe because we obviously don't know. They don't do this at EB Games yet, thank goodness, over in Australia. I'd like to know what the process is. You'd expect with that kind of model where there's stores everywhere that they would have a common practice.
I just think, like, really for me, this is where even if someone does charge, and I'm not saying that the hobby charges more or they charge less, I'm just making sort of a broad statement here, but it's like, even if people do charge a little bit more, for me, it's more just about the reputation space and also that relationship you built with the person.
Peace of mind.
And then the peace of mind that you get that night because you know that all your stuff's going to be safe. Because, like, there's been a couple of other scams in Australia where the exact same things happened. People have gone to their local card shop, handed over, let's just call it $10,000 worth of cards.
Yep.
Where are the cards? 6 months later, because, that at the time, that's how long it took for the submission process to, go through. Excuse after excuse after excuse, And so, like, go onto the Australian card scammer pages and read up about these stories. Like, we don't need to, like, rehash all that now, but it's like, you really need to, like, know the person that you're subbing with and know their reputation. It's
but even not, if you're going to give tens of thousands of dollars worth of cards to somebody, and trust that this process is going to get done, have some foresight to at least track it to some extent. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes and no though, Ad, because it's like at the end of the day, once you put them over the counter, like, they're out of your hands.
If I go to a reputable store in Melbourne, one of the stores that I know and trust, where I know the owners, I know the staff, etc., right? I know they follow certain procedures. So I have trust that that's going to get done. I'm also going to make sure everything's documented to make sure that what I've sent off is correct. Because part of the grading process is you document what the card is.
Yeah.
Part of the submission, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have that same level of trust, and I'm creating the parallel. Should this ever happen in Australia with EB Games being the equivalent of GameStop, right? If I walk into an EB, there's no way I'm going to have that same level of trust. In fact, I'm going to be super paranoid that I'm saving myself $50 and potentially losing thousands of dollars in value. Like, you've got to have some ownership of what you're doing in the process.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure. Yeah. Anyway,
I think it was a pretty standard rubbish response from GameStop, and I don't think it's common practice. But
yeah, who knows? Maybe we could reach out to Boston Card, see if he's got an update for us.
Yeah, good idea. I'd love to have him on the show.
We'd love to have our friend on the show, yeah. Thanks to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. Go to their website for sports breaks, singles, collectible protection, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia, and of course, Ross's lovable water pistols. Also, Ross's current
Are they branded now? Are they Ross's lovable water pistols?
That's what I've called them.
Oh,
correct,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah. Ross's current baby is his Check Out My Cards Australia page, where he has created his own submission service and consignment service. Post all of your cards to Ross, he'll take care of all the sales. And when you click onto the website and you go to check out my cards submission, please write "you can't comp this" anywhere on the form and you'll get a free submission. Ross is really trying hard at the moment to get some more submissions in because his current issue is having more cards sold than being submitted. Thank you again to our friends at ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. And we are back. Adam, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great. What's next on the docket?
I would like to talk about Jonathan Kuminga, and this is a little bit of a nothing story. So I won't lie to you. This is really for old Rusty. And basically, it's about Kuminga holding out and not signing his contract with the Warriors because he wants more money, which is, it's not exactly anything of revelations. But I thought it would be a good time to talk about Kuminga. We could speculate where he might end up if he doesn't stay with the Warriors.
Yeah,
and then we could talk about some of his card prices too.
Yeah, I was going to say card prices might be an interesting one too, hey?
Yeah. So, where do you think old mate Jonathan Kuminga will end up if he doesn't re-sign with the Warriors?
I don't know. I actually, the Clippers is where all the rejects go, but he's not old enough. He hasn't met the age bracket for the Clippers yet. That was another opportunity for me to have a go at the Clippers. No, I actually don't know. I think he will end up for playing for the Warriors. I hope so.
But there's a piece of me that I would love to see him say go to the Kings, where they've had a massive loss of talent the last couple of years.
Okay.
If they could sneak in and pick up a nice little piece that would fit their otherwise sort of young core.
Yeah.
I think that would be really nice. Something like, say, Brooklyn Nets, where they've got a lot of assets that they can move around. And I think they're one of the few teams in the league that actually got the cap space to accommodate his wild request. My thing with the Golden State Warriors is that every dollar they spend on Kuminga is $3 they can't spend on somebody else to actually bring in and give that team a little bit more depth because, I really think that I haven't looked at their cap situation.
Yeah. We were talking about Charlotte before. He could play in Charlotte.
Yeah.
He could be a building piece. Is he overvaluing himself? Like, is he being unreasonable trying to get a bag without, like, rather than being paid getting a big payout, is he demanding one or quietly demanding one the wrong thing to do? Like, I get his agent will want to get the most for him. But yeah, I don't know.
So according to Spotrac.com, the Warriors have got $250 million in cap allocations. $22 million of that is a cap hold for Kuminga.
Yeah.
and 17 million is a cap hold for Gary Payton II. Steph Curry's going to get paid basically 60 million next year. Jimmy Butler 54.
Yep.
Draymond 25.
Yep.
Moses Moody 11 and a half. Buddy Hield 9.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Podziemski is 3.6.
Okay.
Trace Jackson is 2.2. Like, that team is. I think they're going to be above the first apron, which basically means
there's gonna be
It's like a double tax basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I
think when you're paying someone 59 and 54 million, there's not that much money left over for the next.
And no offense, but has Kuminga really earned his bag of cash?
I get why he's asking for it, because other young players have been paid.
Yeah, but
same,
other young players are getting paid for it on much more cap friendly rosters.
Yeah.
Right? I can guarantee if Dalton Connect wants his bag, he's not getting it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got other players that are going to get paid first. He hasn't done a terrible job, but he hasn't set the world on fire.
Yeah.
And the Warriors are like, mate, wait your turn. Like, if you are worth what you're claiming you're worth, wait. Just wait. You'll get paid. Steph will retire. There'll be some money in the budget.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it's a bold move. It's a bold claim to be really pushing the Warriors like that. And they're a pretty legit organization. They're not afraid to spend through the you call it the dynasty era of those like the 2000 the teens. That was they were prepared to spend on Clay, Steph, and Draymond. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they had some pieces. Hell, they sold everything off and tried to bring KD into it all.
Yeah. So just a really quick refresher. Kuminga is the same draft year as Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Scotty Barnes, Şengün, right? So then let's just filter that down a little bit. Let's take Şengün and Cade Cunningham out of the conversation for a second. But let's add Franz Wagner to that. So Jalen Green is in a 3-year, $106 million extension. So let's just round that off and call it 33, 35 a year.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes, 5 years, 224.
Yep.
So starting at 38.7 million.
Okay.
Franz Wagner, 5-year, $224 million deal.
Yeah.
Which is going to average $44 million. And so when you hear those numbers, I kind of get why he might be holding out. Like, is Jonathan Kuminga any worse than Scotty Barnes at this stage? Like, I've got a complete hard-on for Scotty Barnes, and like I way overrate him. I would probably say than almost anyone. I think he's an amazing player, but like I can imagine how Jonathan Kuminga is just like sitting there.
But the Raptors,
bowl of Fruit Loops, just like steam coming out of his ears, like, that motherfucker, he's not better than me. Like,
but the Raptors aren't leveraged up to their eyeballs.
Well, they are.
But they can afford. But they've factored paying the young one money. If Jimmy Butler hadn't come to the Warriors,
hang on a second. Do you know what the total salaries on the Raptors are?
No, I wouldn't actually.
Are
they? They're not over an apron though.
They're in the top 5 in the league.
No.
Hang on a second. Just wait. Their team payroll.
They're not paying. They're not paying aprons.
Their team payroll is $188 million, Adam.
Are they over aprons? Are they busted on the salary cap?
Let me find out.
Is there an app yet that shows us how this thing works?
There probably is. They're $66 million over the cap. They're over the first apron. They're $8 million away.
Okay.
They're over the tax too.
Okay.
For the team that's like, I think they're going to be pretty hard pressed to make the playoffs. Scotty Barnes at 38, Brandon Ingram at 38, Quickly at 32, RJ Barrett at 27,
Okay.
Yucca Pertl at 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well then screw that theory. I just think.
Yeah.
But the Warriors
Sorry
are.
to cut you off, but
But
yeah.
but I'm
So I think
saying.
that's why. That's why he's holding out, right? Yeah.
But they're a team, like the Warriors are trying to make another push. They acquired Jimmy Butler to make another
Yeah.
push.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And if they pay
exactly.
this man a bag, there's no way they're making a push. They're actually costing Jimmy Butler the opportunity and Steph the chance of winning another championship.
Maybe getting another veteran to the team. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So he needs to exercise a little bit of maturity, I think.
Yeah.
But if he wants to go, maybe Toronto will take him.
Yeah, that's right. They'll just go over the next.
They're just happy to pay. Cha-ching!
I found a couple of good cards Kaminga-wise, though. 2021 National Treasures rookie RP8, number to 99, on card order. That sold for $83. I actually think that's a really good pickup. Now, this one here, this is a bit of a tricky one because it's from a Chinese site. It is the Red Ice PSA 10. That sold for $27 USD. I think that's a really good pickup.
Yeah.
So I would say, looking at those two sales, there's a bit going on here. I think that he is definitely out of their rotation. The Warriors are a little bit out of the spotlight. It's the NBA offseason. So maybe we need to do a topic on this next week, Ad, and say, look, it's the NBA offseason. This is the down season. This is when you make your big purchases.
Well, all right. So I think we do make this into a bit of a topic because I don't think Steph Curry's going down in the offseason. I don't think LeBron's are going down in the offseason.
We can talk about that.
But there's mid-level players that could, it's the offseason dip.
Yeah.
If you're not a superstar. Yeah, good point.
All right, we've segued hard. Let's just do this really quickly, and then we'll go to our last break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish off. This is from Find Your Trove on Instagram. Really good Instagram content again. And basically, he's doing a reporting on a feature that eBay have now built into their service where if the card is greater than $250, as you're paying for the card, you just tick an extra box.
Mm-hmm.
Send it to PSA, and then the card goes from the person who you're purchasing it from directly to PSA.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing that they've built in.
Yeah.
So that's the pros. So the pros is it's great for the end consumer. It saves time. It saves handling. It saves shipping. It saves postage, all that type of stuff.
Love it. Yeah.
I think the downside is that there's more trust built in on the card. So what I mean by that is...
Oh, for sure.
If you're selling me a card and then actually, let's just say it's a silver rookie prism, then you do the old switcheroo and it goes straight to PSA. How do you then prove that, that's not the card
that's
that was
the one
the photo
that was
or
on
whatever?
the yeah, okay.
What about, maybe I'm overthinking this and there is a process in place for it. What about cleaning?
No, I was definitely... that was
you
the
would want to
first
get
thing.
your card clean before you sent it off. I mean, PSA is offering a buffering service now, so maybe that's something you could also tick another box and get that sorted out for you.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is a very sensible thing, but again, it also, what's the negatives on this? It does cut out a bit of business for local businesses. For example, our friends at Fast Break,
Sure.
friends at the hobby. I don't think that's a great thing.
But on the contrary to that, because of I'll play devil's advocate.
Please.
Are these people going to buy it and then send it off for grading, are they? They might get it in hand and go, oh, no, I won't send it. So they might be paying for the convenience. So that card may never get graded if it comes back, like by the local store.
But that's a good thing, though, isn't it? That you don't send a card in and waste your money on grading.
Well, it's not always a waste. Well, given the rate of... PSA 9s to 10s, maybe it is a waste. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think it's really cutting out a middleman. I don't think the middleman would be utilized in the alternate scenario, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it just gives the option if you want to do it. I personally, I would not.
Okay.
Just because if I can't inspect the card up close, making a decision on it, whether or not to grade it straight away, it's fraught with danger.
Yeah.
And we all know the difference between a PSA 10 and a PSA 8, let alone a 9. But anyway, if it's not a 10, you're cooked. But still, nice to have the service. Nice to have the
Absolutely.
automation.
Alrighty, guys, let's go to a break. We'll be right back. And we are back. Adam, how are you doing?
Ready for the final countdown.
Yep. So this next few things is basically just what I would call organic material that we've got off our socials this last couple of weeks. So the first one is...
Organic material sounds like compost or recycling.
Well, I mean, that could be right.
Fair. Okay. Yep.
This is from our listener, Travis Parker. Hello, Travis. I hope you're well, mate. Thank you so much for submitting your video. It is a video of his. And he's completed a full set of 94.95 Fleer.
That is awesome.
Which is a fun, good-looking... I'm going to go out into a limb, call this a low-end collectible set.
How do I check the volume of this?
And I will also add to this too, it's a very bringing you back to your childhood set. I think this would bring you a lot of joy. So yeah, Travis, congratulations, mate. It's always fun to finish a set.
That's awesome.
Bringing this full circle for myself, I also finished a set myself this week, the NBA 75 set from Mosaic, Optic, and Prism. So I was not going to lie to you, kind of chuffed that I could actually complete a spreadsheet and make sure I tracked everything properly. It's awesome. Usually I'll do every card but one, and then it takes me another few months to get that last card. That's the Russell thing to do, but yeah, this time I somehow... you were telling me offline you've been doing some footy card sets.
I've done a footy card chase, and I did the bulk of it myself by hand, but I did bite the bullet and do some scavenging for individual cards. I got down to the nitty gritty. So in the coming days, I should have completed my 2025 footy card.
If you've done your spreadsheet
chase.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. So if I'm after one card, I've done it wrong. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when I receive my mail through the week.
Yeah. Alrighty. This is a little bit old, and I dropped the ball on this. I should have put this in the show the last couple of weeks, but we just ran out of time. Trade debate time. Who wins the deal? Lot 1. Colin Sexton Silver Rookie PSA 9. Terrence Ferguson Orange BGS 9.5. PJ Washington Silver PSA 10. Mikal Bridges PSA 9. Jalen Green Red, White and Blue PSA 9. LeBron James Base PSA 10. And a Jerry West Sticker Auto numbered to 10. The second lot is a 2005 Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant. For full disclosure, the top lot of cards came out of my trade box, and I traded this with our hopefully friend of the show in the future, Josh Vitale, who I've had, to be honest, I've not had a bad interaction with the guy, just really easy to deal with.
Awesome.
Always willing to do a bit of a trade. He's built up his inventory, I would say 20x in the last couple of years that he's been coming along to shows. So yeah, he's just doing a good job. Yeah. I took the Kobe away. I was personally very happy that I traded a whole bunch up for one card. And then I read one of the listeners' responses, which for some reason is not on the sheet, but I pretty well remember it. And he was saying, well, if you had just held on to LeBron in 10 years' time, it would have been worth the the value of that Kobe on its own. And then you could have just sold off the rest of it piece by piece. But I was like...
Wow.
I didn't actually think of that at the time. Anyway, I was actually just personally very happy that I just picked up all these little pieces and rolled it into one card. That was my personal sort of opinion.
Is that is that a prism? Is that like a silver? It's not a silver, the LeBron, is it?
No, the LeBron is base and the Kobe is base too. Yep.
I'd keep the Kobe.
Yeah, interesting.
I think the Kobe is fine.
I'm really happy, by the way. Like, yeah. Obviously you always get like regrets or whatever, but like,
yeah.
No, I'm really happy with how
and
it
I'm guessing the West is a sticker auto.
Yeah, it was a sticker auto.
Yeah.
It's really interesting with the Jerry West. It's like, I think my recollection was I paid $100 for it. I didn't get anything near $100 offer for like the 2 years that I had it.
Funny, right? Yeah.
It was really interesting. And when I paid $100 for it, I was very happy to pay that for it. I thought number to 10.
Yeah.
The condition of the card was like, it wouldn't have been a PSA 10, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. Adam Reed, I have been fortunate to turn 200 mid LeBrons to about 10 higher end cards. Rookie refractors, a PMG, and autos as well. Although all my eggs aren't in one basket, I still have some good rookies and vets as I love to trade. Yeah, look, I think there is something to be said about that. It's just fun to trade.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said about trading, 10 for 1 or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Paul says lot too, but yeah. Alrighty, let's move on from that bad boy. We've done that. Off-season purchases. Oh, well, we've introduced this topic a little bit. I think we can do it again next week.
Maybe we do the off-season purchases stuff as a big one next week. What do you reckon?
Sure, I can edit this bit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to do?
Because then we just do the
like Dante Exum.
Yeah. We'll go through the bits and make it the headline for next week.
59.50. Sure, I can do that. All right, I'll edit that out, and then we're starting again at 56.08. Alrighty, we are just going to talk about some NBA news. This is from Shams Sharania. Dante Exum considered 2 other contenders, but returns to Dallas to share ball handling duties to start the season with D'Angelo Russell. I actually think D'Lo and Exum is a really good backcourt pairing because Exum can do all the dirty work. Is not fast at all, whether he shoots or not, and then D'Angelo Russell can just do his thing.
Shoot and screw it all up. Great.
And have someone to protect him. So I think that's a really good signing. I also think, too, I'm really happy to see Exum survive in the NBA because he was out of the league for a little bit. He was injured, and I think he shouldn't have gone that high in the draft, but I also think he's a really high IQ basketball player. He has legit NBA size and skills. So, yeah, I'm just really glad he sort of got himself back together and got in there. Yeah. I'm actually curious to look at his card values.
Dante Exum?
Is he even on Card Ladder?
I doubt it. Let's have a look. Ladder.
Dante Exum 2015 Court Kings. Last sold for $31. I'm going to say this sold a very long time ago. Oh, no, not that long ago, in 2025.
The Aurora.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look, yeah, I don't think there's a heap of collectability going on with Dante Exum.
No. A couple of Aussies that enjoy a side PC, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's literally one card on Card Ladder.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Kings, earlier on, I'll slag you on them, saying how much of a mess they are. They brought Dennis Schroeder in.
Ooh, another team for Schroeder.
I've got no problems with Schroeder, to be honest.
Neither have I.
I would probably comment, though, there must be a reason why he's been on 15 or 16 teams that he's already been on.
Yeah.
Is he one of those guys that just grinds people out and just annoys everybody in the locker room? I don't know.
I think he overvalues himself. $15 million a year, I think, is the right price. I think he was trying to hold out for more. He wanted 20 to 25 at times. I know he wanted 17 or 18 at the Lakers, and the Lakers are only going to give him 8 to 10. Do you know what I mean? He's just that little bit he asked for a bit. But 15 mil a year for 3 years at the Kings, good. Congrats. Go to bag. Done.
I feel like he still hasn't lived down that time he rejected the $84 million contract from the Lakers, though.
That's true.
I think. Oh, God, that would keep you up at night for a while, wouldn't it?
It's pretty bad.
Look, I think, actually, for me, obviously it's good for the Kings. There's no doubt about that. But I also think this is a bigger loss for the Pistons because...
Yeah.
The Pistons were fun last year. And how much... they've already lost Malik Beasley, which for all... for all the stuff that's been said about his gambling, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be back in the league.
Yeah.
I think that's a big loss to lose, 2 of those guys. So
true.
Maybe what this means here is who's going to step up? Like Ron Holland, for example. I really like that kid. Does that mean now that he's got, a guaranteed 20 to 25 minutes a game this year?
True.
And then the other one, obviously, is Jaden Ivey. That's the other one too. So ESPN have got him projected into their starting lineup.
Yeah.
That puts a lot of pressure on him to
perform.
Yeah, and like that's it now. He's like realistically, who else could start instead of him?
Yeah.
Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, maybe Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really clutching at straws, though, isn't it? Gershon Ubisele, I hope I said that correctly. Apologies if I got it wrong. Ubisele, thank you. 2 years, $12 million with the Knicks. If Thibs had still been there, I would have said this is a fantastic signing because it's another Thibs guy, but he's no longer there, so I'm super confused about this.
But he's a tough guy. No, he might just be some body.
Yeah, but like, why? Why would you pay him $6 million a year to do that?
Like, you might need an enforcer. You might need a tough player off the bench. It could be a poor man's Obi Toppin off the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But is that just done spitefully to sort of get back at the 76ers to make them a little bit...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
It's super weird. I don't know why they did that.
Couple of bucks. May as well.
Okay.
He's got some bulk. He's not bad. I just remember his performance in the Olympics.
Yeah, he's a good player. Like, I don't think he's bad. I just... Like, the Knicks, like, for me, are already really deep.
Yeah,
Brunson, Bridges, Josh Hart, OG.
But we've seen what a couple of injuries can do, and he's got size, so
yeah, maybe that's what they needed, just another big. Yep. Okay. All right, I'm wrong. Again from Shams, Detroit is trading Simone Fontecchio to Miami to acquire Duncan Robinson in a sign and trade deal.
Oh, that's a sign and trade.
So look, I really like this. I think this is really, really good. You know, I think for me the irony is it's like if Malik Beasley was still there, they probably wouldn't need to do this trade.
Agreed.
And I think in the aggregate,
still think it's a good move.
Like Robinson is a better shooter, but there's nowhere in any parallel universe that he's a better defender than Beasley is or was. So I think that's why I really struggle with this. It's like, you know, and essentially the reason why he was out of the Miami rotation in the end was that he just couldn't make coverages with any consistency. And I think when you're trying to, you know, win championships or, you know, make the second round of the playoffs, for example, what the Pistons will be, it's like, when do you put him out there? Like, that's my issue with it.
Yeah, it's fair.
I suppose he won't be betting on himself, so maybe he'll sleep a little bit better.
Exactly.
If you're a Pistons assistant coach, I don't know. All right, let's do one more, then we'll finish off with a Kobe, and then we'll get the hell out of here. What do you say, Ed?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, this is from 5 Card Guys, and they do good sales data content. I quite like what they do. So August 2017, Anthony Davis Silver PSA 10 rookie card, $1,200. August 2018, $1,000. July 2020, $9,500. January 21, $24,000. February 22, $6,500. June 2023, $2,750. And May 2025, $910. I will let you have the first take on this.
I think maybe the 900 is undervalued, but you look at Anthony Davis's career, and the trajectory it's gone. When he was at the peak of his powers, obviously it's the bubble championship with the Lakers. When he's healthy, he's phenomenal. But this man has been hindered and hampered by injuries his entire career. And I think it's impacted him in the hobby. I wish I could be more positive about it, but I think we got very hopeful and we kept putting our faith in Anthony Davis, and he never really excelled. He just declined over the years, and I think where he sits now in the hobby is about right. It's kind of like it's a long-term Zion thing. for me, except it happened. It was like bit of promise, injured, bit of promise, injured, bit of promise, injured.
Yeah. He's definitely injury prone. Look, I don't think I have a problem with the current value. I would still actually say for me this is still a sell because
Yeah.
I don't think going to Dallas is going to boost up his hobby value.
Does he get the Hall of Fame though?
Well, this is the thing. I think this is when you really had that like long term,
Yeah.
like sort of hobby conversation. I'm like, I feel like for me, I'm building up a new measuring stick. I'm going to go with James Worthy again. Like, I think if you compare their two resumes, you might end up arguing that James Worthy is a better NBA resume than
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis has got. And I think
Yeah.
his sales, aren't, near what James Worthy is. What I would say about Anthony Davis, though, is look at his kabooms. His kaboom sales have been going up consistently. So the 2016 Excalibur
Yeah.
Raw last sold for $375. If you narrow that down to the last 1 year, actually it's down 6%. Let's go to the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's up 23%. And so if you look at old time, he's up, that's probably 468%. It's literally just a straight line upwards. And it's like, I wonder if the play with Anthony Davis is like low numbered case hits, because he's like a good
So not the
player.
rookie, not the rookie card, but the standout stuff.
Like,
Is that what
he's
you mean?
he's not a potato. So that you go, okay, look, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But you're buying him in like the really good set. So then, so then you go, okay, I can't afford a kaboom. So then you look at, say, a downtown, or you look at, some of the other case hit stuff with Anthony Davis. But, I really think I'm probably beating a dead horse at this point in time.
No. I think you're making a very valid point.
I just think the kabooms in the long term is like going to be something that's going to be, very, very reliable. And if you are looking at lower end kabooms,
so which one do you go with? When's Anthony Davis at the peak of his powers? Are you going the 2019 Crown Royal kaboom?
like for example, I would rather say 2 or 3 of these kabooms than one of his silver PSA 10s. Like I think for me, the silver PSA 10 might go down more, whereas these kabooms, I think if you hold on to them, I think you'll do really well out of them, even though it is Anthony Davis. Like,
No, but my genuine question there is, which Anthony Davis are you buying? Are you buying New Orleans Anthony Davis or Lakers Anthony Davis? If you're not going for a rookie card,
I think if you're buying case hits, you just buy what falls into your
budget.
price point.
Okay.
Because that 2016 Excalibur,
I
actually think that's really undervalued.
There's a few out there
horribly undervalued, because the 2013 Innovation, that's double the price.
Yeah. Okay. It's an it's an interesting one, because there's the Pelicans one, and then there's the Lakers one.
And did you want to finish on the Kobe kaboom? You want to do the PMG.
I wanted to do the PMG.
Yeah, let's do the PMG. All right, great. You do this one, mate, and then we'll finish up.
And we'll wrap that off. Where are we? Click. Show everyone playing at home. All right. Ladder headlines. Noteworthy. 1997 Metal Universe Kobe Bryant. Number 81. Funnily enough, almost a decade before he dropped 81 points. Anyway.
That's actually a little bit scary, isn't it?
Bit creepy, right? Recently sold for $144,000, up from its previous sale 2 years earlier of $60K. So in 2024, it sold for $60K. Although back in 2023, it sold for $84,000. So still $60K. $60,000 to $80,000 increase in price. Look, it's a PMG. We know it's they're not the easiest cards to come by, and they are, they're the old kabooms, the OGs.
Yeah, I think this is a lot of what I base my kaboom optimism on, is when I see stuff like this.
And it's graded authentic.
it's not even like. And again, just to reiterate, why the person did this is because it would have been graded so poorly. You can see
you can
the
notably
damage on
see the white on the photo
from a photoshopped, zoomed out image.
Yeah, the edges.
Do you know, like,
yeah,
you know, the really interesting thing about this is, like, when I look at that, I'm like, is there a worse purchase for $144,000 at the moment than that? Like, I really struggle with that. Like, to not even get like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, there's 9 of them out there. I'm curious to know if there are ones that are graded high out there. Can you imagine that value?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe that's the thing with those cards. They were, like, maybe quite easy to damage, and so
how many? All right, so
for me, a pop report of 9 seems quite high to me.
So if that's in a PSA 9 or 10, is that 7 figures?
Oh, like that. I mean, based on that, you could make the argument it's $1 million card.
Yeah.
If it's a 10.
Yeah. That's just...
What a cracker.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant. Now I'm looking up cards. Anyway.
All right, Ad.
Thank you for a great show.
As always, get well soon, mate.
Will do.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We really mean this profoundly. We really appreciate all of your support. The numbers at the moment are absolutely exceptional. It makes our life so much easier. It gives us so much energy and, just so much encouragement. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It really means the world to us. If you do want to support us, go to our Instagram, go to our Twitter.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, go to our podcast channels, turn on that auto download button. Nothing of our content is paywalled. We do all of this. It's independently released. If you do want to support us, guys, that is the only way you can. So thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And we'll catch